Good evening, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Sunday Spin, the Saturday version. If you've been with us for the last few seasons, you know once or twice a year we like to mix it up and do the Saturday night version, SATURDAY night for you Bay City Rollers fans. Our guest, probably too young to know who that band even is, but my man Greno, he knows who that is. Greno, how is your Christmas season going so far?
It's Saturday night, my friend, to continue with the fun. But yeah, I mean, we couldn't disrupt Santa's schedule.
That's right.
Tomorrow's out of the question. So I'm just super excited to have these guys on the show. I want to welcome these kids from Colorado Springs doing really cool music. Kids to me, guys. Sorry, I know that you are adults, but yeah, let's welcome Taunt to the show. How you guys doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
So we got Matt, Sam, and Sophia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct? All right. So 3 for 3 on that. So yeah, guys, welcome to the show. And Vinny, I want to let you do the honors on this one because you do it so eloquently every time with the historic perspective for our guests. Why don't you go ahead, my friend? Fire away.
You're too kind. I've already bought your Christmas present. You don't need to butter me up. It's on its way, amigo, but thank you very kindly. Yeah, guys, welcome to the show. We're really happy that you could join us on a Saturday night. Colorado Springs is obviously an area my partner knows way more about than I do as a casual observer and semi-participant of it. I've always really been impressed with the local music scene. In other words, the people that come out to shows and gigs and things like that. For you guys, what's the local scene been like since COVID has finally lifted its ugly reign on all of us? You finding people coming out to your shows in greater numbers, more influence, more excitement? How's it been?
I would say, yeah, there was always a lot of people going to shows, and there's always like a good community. And the big difference that I've seen since then, since COVID and everything, is still like a lot of people, maybe more, just because people, maybe got a little bit, they realized what they could have missed out on or whatever. A lot of kids, I realized since then, a lot of younger generation. I don't know. And it's funny because we're kids to you guys, but yeah, I guess that was the big thing for me is like, I see a lot of kids younger than me in larger numbers. It's cool.
Oh, that's beautiful. That really is, because, from my vantage point, yes, I always feel like the oldest guy at any gig I go to. But more and more lately in San Diego, at least, with some of the resurgence post-COVID, we're finding crowds about my age. And it's been very comfortable. You have to watch for the walkers on the mosh pit floor. But other than that, it's been a real joy to see live music again. I would love to know how you guys met and started.
Exactly.
How did it come about? Was it in school like with me and Glenn, or were you on the same soccer team?
It all started with,
me
and Sam started dating about 4 years ago. And he's just always been super musically inclined and stuff. And Matt met him at a show, and we all just kind of got together. Sam was like, I got some songs, you want to start this up? And kind of just went from there.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, I don't know, like I would always go to the shows, local shows, and I was just kind of getting into the scene here. And like Vinny, you said you're from San Diego. Like, I'm from San Diego. So like, I kind of understand the scene there, but here it's a little different. I feel like it's a lot more like, I guess, tight knit. Like every time you go to another show, you always see the same 5 or 6 people there, and then much more. But you kind of see everyone pretty often. And so I used to I would go to all the shows a whole bunch and always see Sam's band playing, and I was like, oh, these guys are rad. So checked them out and talked to Sam after a couple shows, and seemed like we got along. And then we started jamming, and I don't even know, it kind of just it was just kind of random. Like we were just kind of jamming and not really like making anything. It was just kind of fun. And then like that was it for like 2 or 3 months. Like we didn't play any more music with each other. It was a one-time thing. And then like he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I have like 4 or 5 songs like that we should write. Like I have some guitars down." So then we just started getting it on with all that, and then Sophia got brought into the mix, and it was so much better after that. Like being a drummer, hearing like having bass in the band is so much better than just guitar. So
I had only just started playing bass too. It's probably been less than a year and a half since I've picked that up. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great job. Wow. That's awesome. You guys are, wow.
we definitely got the reins on this band.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like Matt said, I've been like, I guess playing in a few bands for like a while, and a lot of like hardcore music, more like heavy stuff. I liked like riffing, playing guitar, and I still enjoy that stuff. But I guess like Taunt kind of feels like a different hole. I kind of like connect to it more. Feels more like I just sat in my room and like wrote the songs, and kind of like, I don't know how much it means, in general, but like I just connect to it more. It's like a little more emotional, I guess. And so then, yeah, I was just like at a show one time, and I don't really like talk to people like a whole lot. I'm kind of like, I keep to myself. I like have friends in like more like a tight, smaller circle. And then this guy just like came up to me and is being very outgoing, which is like the perfect type of person you need to be to meet me. And he was like, we just met and like, yeah, we hit it off, and just worked out. Yeah, I remember being like super surprised by like how well he drummed, not really knowing what to expect, and knowing like after that first jam he talked about like that he was gonna be playing drums and whatever Taunt was. At the time it was nothing, just an idea that I want to make songs that I connect to more, really. And then, Sophia ended up coming up with the name Taunt, and I don't know, it all came together pretty well. But
Well, I love your reply, but particularly how you were saying about the opposites in the band dynamic, which I think is one of the most important factors, frankly. I don't think you want members of your band who are too similar, too like-minded. You don't field a baseball team with 8 catchers. You got to have an infielder and outfielder, so forth. I think the different dynamics, the roles that those dynamics place people in bands in, sometimes they're just brought from the heavens.
yeah.
I really feel that's the way it's been with Glenn and I for the last decade or so, knowing the roles and accepting them and flourishing in those roles. And from what I've heard, it sounds like Tom runs along that same plan. And I think that's marvelous, guys.
thanks.
Yeah, it works out pretty well. I like it. Yeah. Especially being in like several other bands at this point. It's like you get to see all the different kinds of dynamics and different kinds of people and how they think about things. And like that thing you said about like people kind of having roles is really important for sure. Like there's been a couple instances where it's like, everybody's just clashing and nobody wants to go in one direction, and it's like you just kind of lose your drive to keep on going, So
Sure.
It's much easier in a 3-piece too, less
less
opinions.
Yeah, that was another thing I like really went specifically for
I concur.
Because of that reason.
Yeah, it's pretty easy going with all of us. So we either agree or we change it, and then that's it, and it's just fine.
Well, you can tell you guys have chemistry, and I want to say congratulations on the EP. It's fantastic. It's also available at What's Left Records. Woo woo! Got to do a shout out for my shop. Well, not my shop, but I do work there. And you guys played a CD release party there. So Vinny and I want to know more about that experience, the recording process and the show, which I heard went really, really well. And just so you guys know, there's a whole bunch of comments and stuff and love that's coming across right now. So, and if there's any questions from people too, right, Vinny, we want to let people know if there are any questions from our audience, please shout out.
Questions, comments, anything. Absolutely. It's their week, and well deserved. They come with quite a fan base. So I expect we'll be hearing from a few people on Taunt's behalf. But Glenn and I were talking about something with the band before the show started. It's very rare that we're able to get 3 people from the same band all to sit on a couch at the same time in the same place for an interview. So on behalf of Glenn and the Sunday Spin audience, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for planning that out in advance. It makes things so much easier. And you guys look great as a trio, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So let's hear about this EP.
Yeah, I guess. So those songs that we were talking about that I hit Matt up with, that is the EP. And that was cool. It came out, like we started running the songs. I guess the songs were written, I guess I should back up even more, maybe like a year and a half prior to our first show.
Okay.
And then maybe like 4 months before I showed them to like Matt. And then we all kind of got together soon after that. So I guess what I'm saying is like, it's very like the most planned out I've ever been with like a project. And it felt like, I don't know, we got like a good reception at our first show. And like, I think it was like Sophia's mom said it was like, we had been playing, more than just one show. And that's really just due to that. We just like practiced a lot and really like let the songs kind of breathe and fall into what they were going to do. And then we were able to record them, after being able to play them for a bunch of times. And, instead of just stumbling into shows and writing all at the same time and recording all at the same time. So it's cool. I like how calculated everything is.
Yeah, it's definitely been a slow process. Like we've definitely just been letting everything be the most it can be. And the EP is definitely a lot of Sam's doing, and a few of our newer songs coming out is more of us in the studio collaborating together. So we're excited to get those recorded and out.
Absolutely. Do you guys have a favorite track, like individually, that from the or one that you like to play live?
I like Big Wash. That one's really fun to play for me.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Needle is pretty fun. I love the drum parts on that song. Really inspired, like at least in like the kind of B sections on that song. Like I took a lot of inspiration from like one of my favorite drummers from like Black Midi, if you've heard of them. Morgan Simpson is a drummer. He has this very cool kind of jazz, funk, soul, prog, like I don't know. He's like just an insane drummer. He can play all genres. But I saw him live like last year in September, and I was just like blown away. And just learned like a couple of their songs and took a lot of inspiration from that, like in that part for sure. Like in the B side of that song.
That's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. That's cool. A lot of times drummers aren't as expressive, right, Vin? As far as like, melding parts that, do inspire them, with
Glenn, I think it depends on the drummer.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's true.
I think the same could be said for a bass guitarist, Some are more inventive than others. Some are more rock solid than others. No right or wrong there. It's a matter of style and taste, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's the best drummer of all time, but it's like one of the simplest drummers.
And that's one thing I did want to ask the band about in general, as far as the musical tastes go. Again, I can only compare it to the way Glenn and I work. We have very, very, very similar tastes in music. Same preferences, same dislikes, everything else. And in a way, it's led to our sound, the Mulligan sound. I'm curious, do you guys have very similar tastes in music? Are you all 3 different branches of the same tree?
There's definitely a bunch of bands that all of us sit on, and like that's how we met, is at like shows and stuff. So there's that with us definitely having some similar music tastes. We all really enjoy like Slint and Duster. So we've definitely got some musical taste in common for sure. But
That's cool.
I mean, personally, I listen to just about everything, so I can have the same music taste as a lot of people.
That's awesome. Most people don't drop Slint. I know that a lot of people that we've had on that like Slint, but thank you for that.
They're great.
Love that band. So
Yeah, I remember when we were like when I first met you, Glenn. We were talking about like kind of that like 90s math rock kind of thing, and I dropped Breadwinner, and you were like, "Whoa,
yes, I do remember that. Yeah, that talk about obscure like early merge band of Breadwinner. Yeah.
Well, they only have one record, and it's like so good. I mean, also another band that's like that is like Hella. For like they're so good with Zach Hill.
Oh yeah, insane. Yeah, Lightning Bolt's another. Do you like Lightning Bolt? Do you know them? It's kind of like insane drummer too, and just two-piece like bass and then the drums. And he sings like through a harmonica mic, Vinny, but just like super distorted. Really good. You'd love it, Matt. Seriously. Okay. I'll send you a link or something, my man. So we'll definitely get and how you guys, we want to ask too, because it's a relevant question in time, is how people can access your music. And then also if you do have like social media outlets, we want to make sure people are able to connect with you guys for future shows and things that you're doing.
We have an Instagram. It's just going to be taunt.band. Cool. We're on Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, all the big ones. Yep.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Taunt,
the picture is a little Cyclops frog.
Awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, we're getting inundated with love and for you guys. So let's take just a second to run through, because you got proud parents and all kinds of folks. And we got
moment to shine.
It starts with profanity, so it's Sunday spin or Saturday night spin, right? So
Lucas is going to be getting coal and a bar of soap in his stocking.
Santa Mulligan is grinning somewhere. So that, and then proud mom. Shout out to Terry, awesome person. Another awesome. So
it is a sweet cap, isn't it?
These are Sophia's parents, for those that don't know.
50s.
Look, so it's all relevant. Like, look, that was from earlier, but Vinny, you always preach it, my man, so well. And then Look and Go, thank you, appreciate that. Cleans up nice. That's silly. Let's keep them on the pants, you guys.
Look for Glenn in the January 2024 issue of GQ magazine, on sale now.
Shows are always packed. Yes, What's Left Records, we love you. Oh, and also we want to give a shout out to Sean. He's been on the show many a time, and he's also Sam's bandmate in Laos.
Sean, good guy.
Yeah, you guys crush it. So we'll talk a little bit about that in the future. Taunt packs the house. Yes. God, you guys, it's just like all this great stuff. And then your mom again chiming in.
Yeah, they're the whole comment section.
That's your mother. Brian's in there, and we've got a lot of folks watching too. So they're just shy. But yeah, any questions? Let's see. Ooh, maybe here's one. Oh, that's from Pot. Look at it. Stirring the pot up here. Like, come on now, she's happy.
Rumblings in the Taunt camp, huh?
Right. All right, so Lucas. Good question. Thank you, Lucas.
It's probably going to have to be after our trip to Argentina, so we get back in February.
Springtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, middle of spring.
Record it yourself then, or?
Yeah, Sam does it all.
Perfect.
On that route, it's nice having all the hands.
Look at Brian giving Matt some love. Was he? Were you a student of Matt? Were you his student? Because I know he's taught many.
No.
Okay, that's even a bigger compliment, my man.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, yeah, he's a sweetheart. Brian, we love you. Shutter and Strum rules. And then, ooh, look at that. God, Matt's getting all kinds of love here. This is great. We appreciate the interaction. We'll just, Slant, Duster, look. We'll get through them and then we'll get back to some questions. But we always like to spend a little bit of time for those folks that are interacting with us, and hope everyone's having a killer weekend. Just met him. We don't.
Yeah,
we love you, Brian. Oh, it was fun. But yeah, probably more to come, but we'll get to that later. So focus on you guys. This is fun.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for taking the time.
And getting back to the couch, which was brought up by one of our listeners. The other beautiful thing about the couch situation, again, is something that our band probably can't relate to on a time-wise fashion, but I had mentioned very much like the Crosby, Stills, and Nash record, where they're sitting on a couch outside their rented house or whatever it might be. All corniness aside, you got a feeling of brotherhood when you looked at that picture. And I get that looking at Taunt, Glenn.
100%.
And that's very cool.
Yeah, for sure. Look, there they go.
Awesome.
The heart. The heart.
You guys are cool, and the thing that, Vinny, what I want to comment, just working all these shows lately, 10 shows in the last 2 months, seeing so many bands, and realizing that, wow, there's a lot of good music, and these kids right here, in my opinion, they're adults, but they're good people. It's a good hang. And that's what I like about the scene, is it's a lot of different kinds of bands. A lot, the Ostro brothers do so many different kinds of music, and other friends, everyone's doing multiple bands. Look at, it's an incredible
the
thing.
future, yes.
But there's so much positivity and there's so much overlap, you know what I mean, Vin? With the scene, and people are really working together, and it's cool. And I'm older, so it's inspiring. I'm 53. So it's to be a part of something that's where young people are doing it, and it's rad. It's really cool. And I'm not doing a cover band,
The biggest thing I see, Glenn, is the sense of community, and the bonding really seems to have gotten exponentially stronger since we've bounced back from COVID amongst artists. And that's the thing I'm really happiest about. If I can get on my soapbox for a minute, was I thought a lot of times there was no meeting of the tribes as far as other bands went, at least in my area.
Gotcha.
That's completely done a 180. And it really is beautiful to see, because there's really that like-mindedness now of, hey, we made it. We're still together. We're still a band, and we're still rocking. And the sense of community, frankly, has been beautiful. But it harkens back to something that Colorado Springs has had since I can remember, Glenn. And it is that sense of community.
What local bands do you guys like? That's one I don't usually ask, but right.
We recently just played with this band Polish. They only had a drummer and a bass player up on that stage, but they shredded it. They went crazy.
Polish. Polish.
Yeah, they're playing at the record store in next month. You believe?
Yeah, and so their other band, Flack, is playing on that bill too. And it's so Polish's drummer is in that band. But also the shirt I'm wearing, Candy Apple, they're awesome. They're from Denver. Seen them a bunch. I love their music. They're awesome guys. Just classic hardcore punk, 3-piece. They're legit.
Yeah, I got that 7-inch that they did. I love that Convulse label. It's so good. There's so many great bands on that.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys are so cool. I can't wait to hang out and see you guys. Come into the record store, the new one. I work on Mondays. Come in sometime and we'll hang out. And I'm actually doing music too, Sophia, with your dad. So he sent me some drumming with him. Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Little rock and roll project. Yeah, he's writing some really good material. I'm stoked on it. Really happy. So
stuff going.
But yeah, you guys are just too cool. I want I don't know, what kind of merch do you guys are you guys rocking? You guys need cool stuff because you're cool people.
Yeah, so we actually I really wanted to do some kind of just like unique, like one-time merch things. So we all kind of just got together with some scraps and we were sewing some shirts. So we've got a couple of one-of-a-kinds out there. Sam recently has just started heat pressing our own shirts as well. So we're very into doing it all ourselves.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Well, you know, it is great that the DIY approach is working for you guys, but it's the only approach that works. You got to do it yourself, right?
Right.
Trust me, there ain't nobody out there lining up to do it for you. You got to take the bull by the horns. But
Yeah.
it helps when you three get along as well as you obviously do. But we are kind of getting up against it. It's very important to Glenn and I that we give you a chance to get your shout outs, though. And there are three of you. So one at a time, we're going to work from left to right. So we're going to start with our drummer. Shout outs.
Shout out What's Left Records. Shout out Tiger Records. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They opened their store last year, and Sean and Drew are awesome people. Whenever I come into the store, they're always very helpful and also just really fun guys to hang with. I actually bought a sound system from them recently that just sounds awesome. So really pumped about that. Yeah, shout out like you were saying, Glenn, like Convulsed Records. They're an awesome label, and they put together some really cool shows in Denver and in Springs, all over Colorado.
Hell yeah, Matt. Matt, oh boy. It's great to see you, Matt. Yeah, man, it's cool just knowing that you meet people at the record store and they're doing music, and yeah, now it's full circle to do this hang. So yeah, that's cool. All right, Sam.
I'd shout out Chris and Terry, their number one supporters, and Lucas.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Sophie's parents, just very nice people. Always
supporting,
there for us.
always at the shows.
Yeah, even before Taunt was a thing, they were always at my shows. Love them.
Yeah, they're great supporters.
Trey Roberts, he's in Mouth for War. It's another local band. He's like very influential to me, I would say. Kind of like not influential, maybe more like he got me into music a lot more, I feel like, than I was when I met him. I was like just a little guy, and I started a band, and we didn't even have a bass player, and he pulled up to that show and was like super hype on us. And then he ended up recording music for us and putting us onto all these shows.
He did our drum tracks.
Oh yeah, he was the one that recorded drums for the EP.
Yeah, so we tracked with him. Like I just brought everything over, and it was pretty dope.
It's like that goes with that sense of community that like Vinny was talking about. Like that guy's
he's so
super supportive. Yeah, he had like no idea who we were, and there's no way we were that good. But he was like, "Let me help you guys out."
He's got a lot of influence in this community here.
Yeah, and then
that's awesome.
Shout out the Ostro Brothers.
Yeah, shout out Ostro Brothers.
They really were helping us kickstart our first two shows.
That's true, Brian.
Sean and Brian, yeah.
And Sean, yeah.
They really got us in the venue. They said, "You're gonna do this." Yeah. So that was super nice to have that connect, and their support as well. So.
Awesome. That's great. That's one of our sponsors, so that feels special to and that with that and Grooves Records in San Francisco. Kevin Chanel, we love you as well. Wow, Vinny, like we're and I want to say, Nikki, we miss you, our other co-host. Yeah. Show tonight with the I think the cowboy band, country band. Maybe not. No, it's not. It's the other punk band. Like she's in like 15 bands, like all of us. Right?
She is.
But yeah, we want to just thank you guys so much for like taking the time, and you guys are really good. Yes, we can't wait to have you guys back on. You know, once you get back from Argentina, and again, safe travels to you guys. We'll take care of Matt. Matt will be coming Come by. We'll play some jazz records, man, and hang out.
Oh yeah.
For sure. And yeah, so are you guys, Santa gonna be good to you guys? Or are you excited? You guys celebrate the Yuletide day, or is anyone excited about presents? I know Vinny is. He's looking for the.
Oh yeah, I was a good boy all year.
He's looking for the Rolling Stones tickets under the tree, right, man? Hackney Diamonds tour, $300 a pop. They're playing it in Colorado, Vinny.
Yeah, and speaking of Christmas, Glenn, we have our Christmas single.
Yeah, woo!
Being that tomorrow is Christmas Eve, I think why don't we just go ahead and drop that bad boy on social media? So it'll be our Christmas present to you guys. Merry Christmas from the Mulligans. We hope you enjoy it. On social media.
This is our last show of the year. So we're really excited. We'll be back.
Yeah,
We'll be back. We'll be back next year. We're gonna plug in. Usually we end at the end of the year, but we got some more guests. We got Cliff Cunningham. Got another big guest that just played at What's Left Records, and I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's awesome. He probably did one of the most amazing shows. So that gives you a clue. One of the most amazing shows that we've had at the record store, in my opinion, and really beautiful community. So we're looking forward to that. And Vinny, I just want to say I thank the hell out of you, my man, for just.
It's been a fun year, hasn't it? All the way around.
Always, man. And Vinny penned this killer song, you guys. So we're really excited. It's a Mulligan's Christmas.
Mulligan-rific, man. Hey, Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for everything.
Absolutely. And then one last thing, we just want to let you guys know Monday on the Groove Yard be a holiday show. So a bunch of holiday music, new music from like Skinny Mulligans and Lemon Limes, new Lemon Limes. Vinny.
Can't wait to hear the Lemon Lime song.
And tune in next year because we're going to be playing Taunt. And you can check it out. Remember, all you need is the app. So you can be in Argentina and tune in and hear Taunt. So just keep that in mind.
we'll be
All right. Thanks again, you guys. We really appreciate you. And keep up the great work. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Next time, be good, be kind, be yourself. Happy holidays. All right. Hope Santa.